Good morning all. Welcome to our next class. Today we are discussing about the magnetic induction, electromagnetic induction, our third chapter. And in the previous class we are discussing about the magnetic electromagnets. What is an electromagnet and how the electromagnet helps to produce the electrical energy, and what is the role of an electromagnet in electrical energy conversion, and what is a solenoid, and we are discussing always about the direction showing rules. Okay, and I think all of you understand about an electromagnet and its use. So today we are discussing about electromagnetic induction. In this chapter we are discussing all about the electromagnetic induction, alternating current and direct current, and a rule that basing the direction showing in a magnetic field. Okay, then first of all we have to discuss about the electromagnetic induction. What is electromagnetic induction? For understanding the electromagnetic induction, we have a simple experiment. That is, here we have a solenoid, and this solenoid is connected with a cell and a galvanometer. When we switch on this cell, this solenoid comes to an electromagnet. Okay, now this is a solenoid, and we make an electromagnet when passing electricity to this. And when we use a magnet, a bar magnet, for understanding the electromagnetic induction. Here is a electromagnetic having north pole and the south pole. An electromagnet, a bar magnet that having north pole and south pole. And in this cell, we are using a solenoid, a cell, and a galvanometer. Galvanometer is a device that is used to understand electricity production. If a small production of electricity in a circuit, the galvanometer is showing a small deflection in it. Okay, the galvanometer showing a deflection. This have a metallic thread, and that showing the electricity. Is the electricity in a circuit, that galvanometer showing the deflection, and we can understand that here is the electricity, or electricity is producing here. So here we are using the galvanometer for that use. If the magnet comes near to the solenoid, and moving the solenoid, moving the magnet into this solenoid, and it comes out from the solenoid. In these three cases, we have to look the deflection of galvanometer. How is the deflection of galvanometer? First of all, we have showing the bar magnet near to the solenoid. That time there is no deflection in the galvanometer. And we inserting the bar magnet into the solenoid, there is a deflection of galvanometer. And then we put the magnet inside without movement, but there is no deflection in the galvanometer. And we moving the galvanometer inside the solenoid, there is a deflection of galvanometer. And the last one, we come outing the magnet, bar magnet from the solenoid, there is a deflection of galvanometer. In the first case, we are seeing four cases. First of all, this is the nearest. And second, the bar magnet is inside the solenoid. And third case, the bar magnet is moving inside the solenoid. And the last case, we pull out the bar magnet from the solenoid. In these four cases, in two situations, the deflection is showing the galvanometer. And we are repeating this same cases in the opposite pole of bar magnet. First of all, we are using the south pole, and again we use the north pole. This same cases, the solenoid or the galvanometer is showing deflection in both north pole and south pole. The cases are same. When the north pole magnet is coming to the solenoid or moving into the solenoid, that times only the galvanometer showing the deflection. So the solenoid is showing a deflection when a magnet is moving inside the solenoid. So what is that deflection? That deflection is the electric current produced here. And we say that induced current is here. That is, the induction is basing the solenoid and electromagnet. Because of the bar magnet and the solenoid and their motion, there is a induction of current. There is a induction of current, and that current is showing the galvanometer deflection. So based on that induced current, there is a induced voltage. There is a induced EMF. So that is the electromagnetic induction. When we moving a bar magnet into a solenoid, the magnetic flux associated with the solenoid comes to changing. There is already a magnetic flux, but this bar magnet is come into the solenoid. There is a change of magnetic flux, and that changing magnetic flux makes a induced EMF, and this phenomenon is known as the electromagnetic induction. Okay, what is an electromagnetic induction? When we inserting a bar magnet into a solenoid, there is a changing of magnetic flux associated with the solenoid, because the solenoid is now a electromagnet. So the solenoid having magnetism, solenoid having magnetic flux. So the bar magnet is come to inside the solenoid. That magnetic flux is come to changing. That flux changing makes a induction of EMF, and this phenomenon is known as the electromagnetic induction. Okay, and we have to read what is the definition for a electromagnetic induction through slide. Electromagnetic induction. Whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with a coil, an EMF is induced in the coil. This phenomenon is called electromagnetic induction. Okay, and the factors affecting induced EMF is number of turns of the coiled conductor, magnetism, and movement of the magnet and solenoid. Okay. We saying that there is a induced EMF, and that is the electromagnetic induction. That phenomenon is the electromagnetic induction. And what are the factors that affecting the induced EMF? When we increasing the number of turns of the solenoid, the induced EMF comes to higher. And when we use higher strengthened magnet in these experiments, the induced EMF is higher. And the movement of the bar magnet inside the electromagnet is always depending the induced EMF. And the magnetism of the solenoid is always depending the electromagnetic induction or induced EMF. So, the turns of the solenoid, the strength of the magnet, the magnetism, and the movement of the solenoid and magnets are the factors that affecting electromagnetic induction. So here we discussing electricity is produced. That is the electromagnetic induction. And here is a magnetic field. Here is a magnetic field and electricity. So we have to deriving a rule based on the direction of electricity, magnetic flux, the magnetic field in this experiment using Fleming's rule. We are discussing about the directions of some things in the previous classes in Fleming's left-hand rule. But Fleming have another rule that is basic this phenomenon, electromagnetic induction. So let's discuss about what is Fleming's right-hand rule. Fleming's right-hand rule. Imagine a conductor moving perpendicular to magnetic field. Stretch the forefinger, middle finger, and thumb of the right hand in mutually perpendicular direction. If the forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field, the forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field, and the thumb represents the direction of motion of the conductor. Thumb represents direction of motion of conductor, and the middle finger represents the direction of the induced current. Induced current. So, what is Fleming's right-hand rule? Imagine a conductor moving perpendicular to magnetic field. Stretch the forefinger, middle finger, and the thumb of the right hand in mutually perpendicular direction. If the forefinger represents the direction of the magnetic field and the thumb represents the direction of motion of the conductor and the middle finger represents the direction of the induced current. Okay. So we are discussing what is Fleming's right-hand rule based on electromagnetic induction. Fleming showing putting our right hand in, take the three fingers of a right hand, thumb, middle finger and forefinger. And he is saying that each of these fingers having a property. The first, the thumb showing what? Thumb showing the direction of motion of the conductor. That is, here we moving the bar magnet into the solenoid. So, the motion of the bar magnet into the solenoid is the direction of motion of the conductor. And the middle finger represents the induced EMF, the direction of induced EMF. That is, when we moving the bar magnet inside the solenoid, there is a induced EMF. So the middle finger showing the direction of induced EMF. And there is a forefinger, and that forefinger showing the direction of magnetic field. That is the direction of the solenoid magnetic field. So this is the magnetic field. This is the direction of motion of the conductor, and the middle finger showing the induced current. So in electromagnetic induction, these three are mutually perpendicular each other. The direction of the motion of the conductor is perpendicular to magnetic field and induced current. And the induced current is perpendicular to the direction of motion of the conductor and the magnetic field. These three are mutually perpendicular each other. So this is the rule of Fleming's right-hand rule based on electromagnetic induction. In Fleming's right-hand rule, we discussing three directions. Three directions, that's the induced EMF, the motion of the conductor, and the magnetic field. We can see that here is a magnetic field for the solenoid or the coil. So the direction of the coil is mass. And the motion of the conductor is making an induced EMF in there. So the motion of the conductor is the another one. So Fleming taking the second one is the direction of motion of the conductor. And this make and induce the current in this circuit. So the third one is the induced EMF. So Fleming describing the direction of these three using our right hand. So this is known as the Fleming's right hand rule. Now you are understanding that what is Fleming's right hand rule basing the electromagnetic induction. Okay. And we have to discussing about the current or the induced EMF producing here. We say that here is a current producing. That is, the galvanometer is showing a deflection when this bar magnet is come to inside the solenoid. There is a deflection of the galvanometer. When moving this conductor inside the solid, there is a production of induced EMF and that's showing the galvanometer deflection. And we checking the direction of the current producing here. The induced current producing here. We testing what is the direction of the current producing here. At that time, we can understand that the direction of the current is unidirectional. Sometimes it is direct. Sometimes its direction comes to changing. So here the produced current is unidirectional current. When we moving the bar magnet inside a solenoid, the induced EMF is unidirectional. And based on this direction, we are saying there is two directions of current. First one is direct current and the second one is alternating current. Alternating current and direct current. That is, when we moving a straight conductor inside a solenoid, there is a production of electricity and the direction of that electricity is uncontinuous. And that direction, basing that direction, here is direct current and alternative current. And we have to discuss about what is a direct current and what is alternative current through slide. DC and AC. Direct current is DC and alternating current is AC. So we are saying DC and AC in short form. A current that flows only in one direction continuously is direct current. Current that changes the direction at regular intervals of time is an alternating current. So now we say that there is a production of induced EMF and the flow of that induced current in one direction, that current is direct current. When the production of that current is direction changing at a regular interval, in that time we are saying that it is an alternating current. So I think all of you understand what is DC and AC. Okay. So now we are discussing that what is direct current and what is alternating current, DC and AC. here the produced current is in one direction. It is in one direction. That current is direct current, and we say that current is DC. And the produced current is alternating current, that is the direction changing in a regular interval. That current is known as AC or alternating current. Alternating current is uncontinuous, continuous, but the direction is changing in a specific interval of time. So that is alternating current. So today we are discussing about what is electromagnetic induction and what is Fleming's right hand rule and what is direct current DC and alternating current AC. All of these concepts are based on this figure. That is, in this figure, we are using a solenoid, a straight conductor, that is the bar magnet, a cell and a galvanometer. Cell is used to supply the potential difference to this circuit. Galvanometer is used to understand the production of current. Solenoid is used as the electromagnet, and the straight conductor is used to producing the induced EMF. And based on the working of this circuit, we are stating electromagnetic induction. What is electromagnetic induction? When we moving a straight conductor inside a solenoid, there is a change of magnetic flux, and this change of magnetic flux makes a induced EMF, and this phenomenon is known as electromagnetic induction. So, describing electromagnetic induction, we are using three directions. That is the magnetic field, the motion of the conductor, and the induced current. So, based on these three directions, we are saying a rule, that is Fleming's right hand rule. These three directions are mutually perpendicular to each other. This mutual perpendiculation makes maximum induced EMF. And we using the forefinger is the magnetic field. The thumb is showing the direction of motion of the conductor. Middle finger showing the induced EMF. And Fleming's right hand rule saying the all of the direction of this electromagnetic induction. And the last one is we explaining that here is a production of electricity and what is the direction of that electricity. So we can know that this direction of that electricity is uncontinuous. And that uncontinuous direction of electricity is making two types of current, that is AC and DC. AC is the current, is continuous current, but the direction of that current is changing in a regular interval. But DC is a direct current, is having no direction change. So I think all of you understand about what is electromagnetic induction and Fleming's right hand rule and the current DC and AC. So that's all about today's class. Thank you.